Hello and welcome to Castanet, Penticton's Mayor's Minute. I'm Colin Dacre, joined here by the Mayor, Andrew Jacobay. So it's budget time. We're getting close to budget time for the City of Penticton, and that may seem like a little dry for people watching this, but it is probably one of the more important times of the year for the city in terms of setting strategies, what they're going to spend their money on, taxes for residents. So I understand residents will have a chance, 3-4 chances in the next month to actually get some input, have their say in this, I guess, pretty important time for this city.
Yeah, actually, a little bit different strategy this year as well, because we wanted to go out to the community, and we've been engaging on a variety of topics, so no different with the budget. So I think on the 15th, the actual documentation of all the numbers gets released to the public. Shape Your City Penticton is probably the best portal to get that information and to comment online. And on the 22nd of November at the Convention Center, 4 till 7, it's focused more for the business community to come out. On the 23rd, from 3 till 7, is for the rest of the community to come out. And on, I think, the Saturday, the 25th, from 10 till 1, also for the community to come out with families. And just an opportunity to see what some of the council's priorities are, and also, more importantly, all elements of the budget. And usually in the past, we'd start our budget meetings with people coming from the community to voice their ideas or concerns. And sometimes that's an intimidating format, or if we start at 8 in the morning or 8:30 in the morning, that might not work with people's schedules. So we've tailored this in the evenings or on the weekends, so people can come in a very casual environment, speak to staff on areas of the budget that they would like to see more focus on, or concerns. And so when it comes to council, there can be a summary of what was raised in the community before we even start, and that might help shape the debate on how to proceed in the budget.
So there are a number of big things coming down the pipe for the city, whether it be Memorial Arena, the Yes Project was in front of council this week asking for a contribution. You got Main Street revitalization. So I mean, what type of input can residents expect to have, or what are people going to see at these, I guess, open houses, these information sessions?
Yeah, well, so there'll be, I think, 6 placards of council priorities. There'll be all the different department overviews in the budget, but and then some of the bigger ticket capital projects, some of them you mentioned, and so there's no shortage of demand for services or ideas, and it's usually oversubscribed. And so when it comes to council, and council hasn't made any decisions yet, so for the public to come in and voice opinion and support for this, and help prioritize, you know, do this project before you do that project, or this idea before you do that idea. When it comes to us at the end of the month for our budget, that helps sort of, staff will give us sort of a summary of, hey, we had 3 open houses, and the public had support for this, had concern for that, and, you know, then we'll sort of debate that and maybe modify to accommodate some of the concerns or ideas and support that was given to staff.
So staff has suggested a 3% tax bump. I mean, you just go down, go through the breakdown of what that would be going towards.
Yeah, and again, that's just proposed, so we have a starting point. We haven't debated any of that. And basically, 1.5%, half of that is just to deal with inflation, and I think inflation is pegged at 2%. So 1.5% is going to inflation. The other 1%, or just over 1%, was going to infrastructure, and then the other just under 0.5% was for council priorities and some of the ticket items that you were talking about before. So that's sort of how they came up with that 3%, and I think that's probably our threshold. We want to see it. Hopefully, we can beat that down a little bit, but to be realistic in terms of dealing with infrastructure and inflation, it doesn't leave much for anything else, and there certainly is large demand for services and needs in our community.
All right, that was this week's Castanet Penticton's Mayor's Minute. If you have a question you would like to submit to the Mayor, you can send it to letters@castanet.net. Until next time.
Read letters to the editor in our letters section under the opinion button in the yellow masthead. Email your letters to letters@castanet.net.